Hey, Anthony. Hey, Jill.
Hello. Good to see everybody on the Stupa event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sorry that the path didn't work. I was afraid of that when we went with mulch, that it was going to be problematic.
Yeah, we started it. I'm so glad we turned around because that was not going to work out. But we just kept going around the other one and caught the tail end every time. Or going around the main one.
Yeah. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Lee. Karen, good to see you all. Hi, Patty. Anthony, I said hi, didn't I? Okay.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see that everyone is going to participate, is already online. Thank you to all those who are participating in the Zoom meeting or on YouTube. So let's start by setting our motivation for doing the practice today. Of course, we can also rejoice that we are going to fulfill the wishes of our teacher, Geshe Gelek, by reading this text and trying to understand the meaning, meditating, analyzing on it. For those on the prayer list, for world peace, to eradicate the coronavirus, for all those suffering from the oppressive heat all over the world, drought or flooding, tropical cyclones, whatever may be experiencing. And so that all sentient beings may meet without resistance, understand without resistance, recall without resistance, realize and practice without resistance the pure and complete teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa, which organizes the 84,000 teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha, and also all the commentaries, and thereby having liberating themselves from samsara for good after a long, healthy, happy life. And then being reborn in a lotus with qualities complete, become a vessel for the transmissions of the teachings of the Buddhas who are actually teaching in their Pure Land. And by remaining in the Pure Lands of those Buddhas until they attain, or we attain, Buddhahood. So let's, I'll share this screen for this abbreviated preliminary prayers. So we'll start with the refuge and the bodhicitta prayer before the teaching. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And now the short mandala offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorneth Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. O holy and perfect pure Lama from the clouds of compassion that form in the skies of your Dharmakaya wisdom, please release a rain of vast and profound Dharma, precisely in accordance with the needs of those to be trained. Idam Guru Ratnamandalakam Niryatayami. Okay, and I believe that is it for the preliminary prayers. Okay, so now I'll begin reading the text. So we stopped on day 6, and let's see, it's after, it's in the middle of page 116 if you have the hard copy. It's after the quote of Tagsan Lotsawa. So we're starting on the first paragraph. I offer similar praise. In days of old, Acharya Padmasambhava, Sachin, Kunga, Ningpo, and others sat at the head of their doctrines and presented unmistaken systems of view, meditation, and action. Later, there were many who did not understand even a portion of things, such as the essence of tranquil abiding, superior seeing, and so forth of sutra, bliss and emptiness, the illusory body, and so forth of mantra, and so on. To begin with, Marpa and Milarepa of the Kagyu lineage had numerous authentic systems of the Mahasiddhis of India, yet later mistakes emerged. From J. Milarepa's offering of realization to the trailblazer Marpa, we can tell that Milarepa knew the way of progression presented in the Lamrim of the Kadampas. Milarepa's offering of realization states, quote, due to the initial condition of ignorance, compositional factors emerge through which the 12 links of dependent relationship are embodied. This corporeal body of flesh and blood, together with its apprehending consciousness, is ripened as a body of leisure and endowment. It is a great ship for those desiring liberation. Alternatively, for those with negative karma from harmful actions, it can be a guide that leads you to bad rebirths. Understand that this is an extremely important time in your life when you can either gain a profit or sustain a loss, and is the demarcation line going upward or downward that will determine your fate for better or worse far into the future. Furthermore, it is extremely difficult to gain liberation from the origin of the suffering ocean of samsara. Yet at this moment, owing to you, Marpa, the foremost captain of living beings, I have a sure chance at being freed. Initially, the disciple properly trains by requesting the Lama for refuge in the 3 jewels. Even among those, the Guru is the source of all happiness and excellence. It is very important that you do not defile your commitments and instead accept and practice whatever you are taught. Understand this is the first essential point. After that, contemplate with powerful visualizations, death and impermanence, cause and effect, and the faults of samsara, whereby you reflect on the wish for liberation from samsara by subduing your uncontrolled mind, through which you rely upon whichever of the pratimoksha vows you find appropriate. This is similar to foundational support. Understand that in dependence upon that, you establish the stages of the Mahayana and protect the precepts you have promised to uphold as you would your own eyes, restoring them if they become defiled. You deviate into the Hinayana by striving for your own peace and happiness. Therefore, once you develop bodhicitta by striving to liberate all living beings from the entirety of samsara, cultivate love and compassion to the best of your ability, and generate the mind of Mahayana dedicated to striving for all other sentient beings. Having abandoned the path of the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, you enter into the path of the Mahayana. Once you establish a foundation to the completely pure view of emptiness, enter the path of the unsurpassed Vajrayana. Furthermore, to generate a realization of the completely perfect view, you need a fully qualified guru who is endowed with the method and wisdom to decipher and explain without error the completely pure rituals of the 4 empowerments. To the force of the profound view of the 4 empowerments, meditate now according to the completion stage. Moreover, striving to discover the selflessness of a personal self common to the vehicle of characteristics through many examples and reasonings, using both scripture and reasoning, you will not find a self and will realize the selflessness of personal self. Thus, you should equally establish the non-finding of the personal self and the mind. When you establish this through continuous reflection with numerous reasons, the mind stills in a state of non-conceptuality. You should remain in the state for years, months, days, and so on, without thinking of anything else, and when it occurs in proper measure, you have developed tranquil abiding. By sustaining this with introspection, you will not fall into mental sinking and dullness. By cultivating an intensity of awareness in which the pure nakedness of non-conceptuality of clarity appears, yet is without inherent existence, a pure lucidity will dawn that is the experience of tranquil abiding. Yet this is not fit for apprehending superior seeing, since a fully qualified superior seeing will not dawn for an ordinary being, despite the fact that you may wonder whether or not you have attained the first bodhisattva ground and encountered superior seeing. Therefore, in dependence upon this meditation, you are forging the path with specific manifestations. Various other manifestations will emerge through the experience of tranquil abiding, such as the appearance of the deity's body and so forth. Yet these are merely signs of meditation and should never think that they have any essence. In short, the experience of tranquil abiding, together with eliciting a state of vivid awareness, constitutes the profound wisdom of individual investigation, conjoined with analysis, which is indispensable for attaining superior seeing. Understand that, having generated the mind focusing on doing as much as you can for the welfare of others, in the meantime, you are trained in the non-objective five through the completely pure view, and finally, make elaborate dedications for the welfare of others while operating within a state of that unobservability. Understand also that this is the foremost of all paths. Just as you need to understand that food is beneficial to feed hungry people, so you should understand that it is necessary to meditate, and that it is not sufficient only to understand the meaning of realizing emptiness. In particular, understand that you must strive without distraction in both accumulation and purification and subsequent attainment at the means of working toward realizing superior seeing. In summary, understand that the view of the secret mantra Vajrayana is the inexpressible non-conceptuality that coincides with the four empowerments, unquote. There are many more teachings like this in the old edition of the 100,000 Songs of Milarepa. To attain the perfect state of union, Milarepa had to engage in immeasurable hardships. However, in these teachings of Jamgon Tsongkhapa the Great, you don't engage in great austerities. Yawa and Sapa, father and sons, raised the victory banner of liberation and so forth in one short life and gained enlightenment through the extremely profound oral instructions of Je Tsongkhapa's hearing lineage. Not only that, but you earnestly practice the complete path of this oral tradition of the hearing lineage by taking Guru Yoga as the life of the path. It will be as Dromwang Longdor Rinpoche, 1710 to 1794, stated in his text, 30 Convictions. According to Longdor's teachings, a few have manifested extremely great signs of having accomplished the attainment of union through mantra, but are not counted among the Mahasiddhas and others of the Sutra tradition. Day 7. The teachings of the Supreme Scholar Dijnana state, the best way to practice is to meditate through disciplined study endowed with contemplation. Thus, our study should follow the holy beings who appeared in the past. Moreover, we should dwell in a state of listening, contemplation, and meditation on the scriptures of the conqueror, in addition to maintaining pure moral discipline as a proper foundation in accordance with what is written in Vasubandhu's Treasury of Abhidharma, by immediately extracting them right now as initially ascertained by listening in the presence of a Lama. Next, we should engage in perfect contemplation, meditation, and so on, which functions as the foundation. Set your motivation by thinking whether the subject matter is the old teachings or all the scriptures. The stages of path to enlightenment are like the embodiment of their essential points. Therefore, once I hear these instructions, I'm going to put them into practice. Once we visualize the field of merit as the fourth preparation, we should, 1, make a request to the Guru inseparable from the deity to generate the realizations of the grounds and paths in our mental continuum. 2, sincerely apply ourselves to accumulating merit and pacifying obscurations. And 3, sustain the practice of the meditations as a substantial cause. If we combine these 3, our progress will be extremely swift. The actual meditations occur during the stage of the path, while supplication, purification, and accumulation come from the preliminary rituals. With respect to explaining the field of merit separately, it is like the foundation in earth of performing accumulation, purification, making it important, so it is explained separately. With respect to blessing the ground, it is not like your cramped little room. It is an environment free from faults that is vast and peaceful, like Sukhavati, and similar in arrangement to the heavenly pure lands. The offerings are also not for the sake of the recipients of the offerings, but are offered for the sake of your own accumulation of merit. Therefore, there are offerings that are actually set out as well as those that are emanated to the best of your mind's ability. The intensity with which you imagine the offerings is the degree to which you will complete your accumulation of merit. Moreover, imagine them as being similar to the clouds of Samandabhadra's offerings. Moreover, for the most part, the water offerings and water offering canopies come from the Avatamsaka Sutra. There are numerous ways to emanate the clouds of Samandabhadra's offerings, so imagine the offerings according to that sutra. If you offer them according to mantra, then the exalted wisdom of inseparable bliss and emptiness itself arises in the form of the offerings. Furthermore, that exalted wisdom itself is present in each moment of the beginning, middle, and end, and is virtuous and good. Therefore, it is called Samantabhadra. And the tradition of the first Panchen Lama's path to bliss and the second Panchen Lama's swift path, according to Tubten Lunze, the visualized objects of refuge themselves are the visualized field of merit. In this case, we use the system of Lama Chirpa. Regarding the teachings which state that it is improper to interact with the objects of refuge, there are actually 3 systems for retracting the objects of refuge. Whichever of those 3 oral instructions you use is permissible. Combining the Lama Chirpa field of merit at this point is not merely for the sake of illustrating its ease in engaging in recitation. Rather, it is included at this point because of its extraordinarily powerful blessing. Gyawa and Sapa, Drupten Cherki Dorje, 1457 to question mark, and so forth, took this as their personal practice and through it attained the state of union in that life and body. Inducing an ascertainment of emptiness as the meaning of inseparable bliss and emptiness is the necessary means of arising in the perceived aspect of the deity. Whatever it is that you meditate on, whether your personal deity or the field of merit, imagine that the perceived aspect of the deity arises from emptiness as the ascertainment factor, and that the exalted wisdom of bliss and emptiness arises as the appearance factor. If you don't understand this essential point, although you may pretend that you are meditating on the generation stage with the vibrant green deity, it will not be a system that functions as an antidote to samsara. For that, you must damage self-grasping. For that, you need a system of comprehending the realization of selflessness through wisdom. It is inappropriate to explain the meaning of bliss and emptiness to those who have not obtained an extensive empowerment. The roots of the wish-fulfilling tree are planted in the ground. The trunk is born from the earth, above which the branches spread out. Regarding the branches, numerous smaller limbs branch out. The petals are completely flat, as in the general case. The leaves emerge from amid the petals and are very subtle, like channels. Regarding the 5 tufted ones, this is a name that is synonymous, like lions, which are in fact not ordinary beings, but great bodhisattvas emanating in the aspect of lions for the sake of accumulating an ocean of learning. Through this method of supporting the lion throne, they listen to whatever dharma the field of merit teaches. Regarding the principal deity of the field of merit, it is Lama Losam Tubtam Dorjechan. These 4 should not be as though they are trampling upon one another. Rather, they are instead of a single nature, like a ritual dancer changing numerous hats and masks. Furthermore, each aspect has its own way of teaching, such as the way the teacher turned the wheel of Dharma and so on. Conqueror Vajradhara himself was the first teacher and then sequentially appeared in various aspects to work for the welfare of the multitude, such as protecting Nagarjuna within India and so on, and the great Acharya Padmasambhava and so on in Tibet, and so forth in Tibet during the early spread of the Dharma. After many years had passed, he again taught in the multitude of diverse aspects such as Atisha the Great and Jitsongkhapa the Great. And at this very moment, he is appearing in the aspect of your guru giving teachings. Therefore, these 4 are one nature. Not only that, but your guru is the nature of all the Buddhas and is their embodiment. If you understand that, whatever guru yoga you meditate on will go straight to the point. Next, you recite the embodiment of all Buddhas and the universal form of the conquerors of 3 times. In short, your guru is the very nature of the omniscient, exalted wisdom of all the Buddhas, which reveals whatever subduing aspect is most suitable to a disciple. Furthermore, the meeting of Father and Son Sutra proclaims, quote, working for the welfare of living beings, they appear in the shape of Indra and Brahma. Some are in the shape of a demon, yet the worldly are unable to identify them, unquote. As it states, the Buddhas reveal themselves in a multitude of aspects, such as a demon, a bird, a deer, a woman, and so forth. In this moment, they are revealing themselves in the aspect of your guru. It is extremely important that you perceive your guru as a Buddha. Therefore, it is essential that you understand very well the meaning of these instructions. Once you attain certain knowledge that your guru is the embodiment of all the Buddhas, you will get right to the essential point when you meditate on a form of guru yoga in the space before you. If you don't develop a proper understanding of this, it will not become guru yoga. For the sake of completing all the essential points, you therefore need to 1. Outwardly practice the Vinaya, 2. Inwardly practice bodhicitta, and 3. Secretly practice secret mantra so that the guru appears in the aspect of a fully ordained monk with the colors of cashmere saffron, which are 1. Plain yellow, 2. Orange, and 3. Red. This is the meaning behind their colors and why he wears the 3 sets of monk's robes. It is not the meaning behind the color of his face. The white color with the red hue of his face is a sign of being endowed with the unique, exalted wisdom of bliss and emptiness. Also in the swift path, the yellow color of his face is a sign of his enlightened activities. The yellow color of his hat symbolizes that Tsongkhapa's teachings on view, meditation, and action are like refined stainless gold. Being in the aspect of a fully ordained monk and of the teacher together represents the commitment being. Vajradhara at his heart is the wisdom being, and the syllable hum at his heart is the concentration being. This is similar to how many attaining the illusory body, all 3 nested beings, are within oneself. What is presented here is the body of mandala of Guhya Samaja, and is like revealing the heart of the root and explanatory tantras of Guhya Samaja. The arrangement of the conquerors of the 5 families and so forth is taken directly from the Tantra. Their form, aggregates, and so forth implicitly revealed the 5 Vajra mothers. Tsongkhapa's system of teachings of arranging the body mandala is the authentic way to practice the oral instructions that reveal the underlying intent of the root tantra by combining the root and explanatory tantras. The explanatory tantra of Guhya Samaja Vajramala proclaims, quote, the body of the conqueror abides in sequence within the body of the Vajra master. First, the Vajra body perfectly dwells within the aggregate of form, unquote. This unravels the underlying intention. The body mandala of the principal deity in the well-known field of merit for Lama Chirpa is conjoined with the body mandala of Guhya Samaja. The practice of Lama Chirpa is an oral instruction that comes from the emanation scripture. Therefore, it is unacceptable to arrange it however you like by combining it with Guhya Samaja, Heruka, and Yamantaka, and haphazardly placing the deities on the body mandala of the principal deity. It's important to understand that this is not merely arranging the deities of a body mandala. Each part of the guru's body is the nature of that particular deity, which accords with the teaching from Guhya Samaja. If you are able to visualize this in this amount of detail, imagine the deities with 3 faces and 6 arms. If you are unable, it is permissible to visualize the parts of the guru's form body arising as the deities of the body mandala, 1 face and 2 hands, according to Yoga Tantra. Regarding the arhats in his hair pores, they are Mahayana arhats. In general, the inconceivable bodies of the Tathagatas all appear with the entire Pure Lands in the body, and the body pervades all Pure Lands. Chandrakirti's Guide to the Middle Way also states the powerful able ones at one time correspondingly solely to that cause in a single form body reveal birth abiding. Thus, this is stating that the body's Pure Lands and activities of turning the wheel of Dharma of innumerable Buddhas are revealed simultaneously in each hair pore of a Buddha's body. The world in the region of a single atom reaches the realms of space, and the world pervades limitless directions while being revealed in an atom, without the atom becoming larger or the world becoming smaller. Accordingly, they enact the deeds of an eon within the span of a single moment, which is referred to as the seat for the feet of the worldly beings. It is reasonable to merely understand this as a seat of the worldly deities, or it is also acceptable to visualize them as empty lotus surfaces. It is the teaching of my guru, Yap Rinpoche, that you should visualize 5 rows for the lineage of blessed practice. 1 to 3, Guhya Samaja, Heruka, and Yamantaka. 4, the 16 drops of Kadam. And 5, the system of oral instructions for the Ganden hearing lineage. Khedrupje's intention was that we should reject the 16 drops of Kadam, but you shouldn't have any doubts because he had other reasons for stating this. There have been many valid texts composed by others according to the visions of many great beings who came after Tsongkhapa, such as the Dalai Lamas and Panchen Lamas. Imagine the faces, hands, and so forth of their deities to the best of your mind's ability. Although it is said that with respect to the performance tantras other than Virochana, Abhisambodhi, they were not translated in Tibetan. Bhutan's source of Dharma and other texts state that the Tantra of secret, Manjushri, the Tantra of the conquering aspect of the wrathful destroyer of the Lord of Death, and Vajrapani environment Tantra, and so forth, are classified as performance tantras. Therefore, if we know the canonical descriptions of those deities, it is permissible to visualize them as well. The abodes that are the essence of the 5 lineages of conquerors are 1 to 3, the 3 seed syllables, 4 a yellow so at his or swa at his navel, and 5 a green ha at his secret place. It is the Guru's oral instruction to arrange the 3 nested beings on all the deities of the field of merit, and this is a special feature unique to an enlightened being. They are also singular in nature with the Guru. Query, well then, can there just be one? Reply, there most certainly is also a system called the tradition of the all-encompassing jewel, in which you meditate solely on the Guru. However, in this instance, we meditate on many in the field of merit, which also has a singular, unique state, revealing itself in limitless aspects, such as a Buddha, Bodhisattva, personal deity, Dharma protector, and so on, for the sake of recalling the Guru's kindness. In the future, when you become enlightened, you also must accomplish the state of the supreme being of 100 families, and so on. For example, it is similar to how Arya Avalokiteshvara subdued trainees within Tibet by revealing various emanations. Regarding the way to invoke the wisdom beings, although in general you may not invoke them, if you visualize the Guru Buddhas, they will abide therefore before you accordingly. There is a quote from the sutras that states, quote, for those with faith, this serves as the principal factor, whereby the Buddha will abide before them, unquote. And, quote, for the person who invokes the Buddha upon a moon, the Buddha will rest upon a moon before him, unquote. There are similar historical accounts of such instances, such as Asanga seeing Maitreya and Jajagoman perceiving Chenrezig. The pervasive wisdom of a Buddha thoroughly pervades the objects of knowledge, and whatever is pervaded by that wisdom is pervaded by his body. A sutra also states whatever extent to which that wisdom pervades is the extent to which his body also pervades. If we follow the logical path of reason, there isn't any location that is not perceived by the valid cognition of a Buddha, which can also be applied in this instance. A being with pure karma and so forth can perceive the supreme emanation bodies and so forth as needed, and someone on the first bodhisattva ground can perceive the enjoyment body. For that reason, we invoke the wisdom beings for the sake of dispelling doubt that wonders. If I don't see them, maybe they don't exist. Although we invoke them according to phrases such as the completely pure and all living beings, they definitely appear like for the woman in Sumagada narrative. Thus, when we invoke them, we also invoke them from the heart of a Buddha, together with an entire field of merit, which dissolve into each one the objects of our visualization. Establish a well-formed appearance factor of those fields of merit as well. For the ascertainment factor, think those are the actual fields of merit. We should think the most exquisite shrine of worship is from the point of view of faith. We don't need to make numerous requests for cleansing rituals from others in order to cleanse our obscurations, such as obscurations caused from misappropriated offerings, with the use of cleansing implements, because when we bathe the bodies of the field of merit, it illuminates and clears away our own obscurations. The person offering the bath ritual emanates 3 bhikshus, as is done during the great consecration ritual, and offering deities as in the practice of mantra. Although the field of merit doesn't have stains of previous impurities, they haven't created any new impurities, you offer the bathing ritual in dependence upon the true nature of reality of dependent relationship for the sake of purifying the negative karma and obscuration in your own mental continuum. So shall we stop here? I'll stop here right now. So Donna can make the...
Yeah, thanks. I won't take more than a minute. Just a moment. I've got you spotlighted here. I just wanted to let folks know, remind you that we have a visiting teacher on the next 4 Thursday evenings online. Don Hendrick is going to be here starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. and he's teaching on uniting wisdom and compassion, working from Chandrakirti's text. We haven't had teachings on this text in a very long time, so I hope that people will come. That's all. Don't miss the opportunity.
Please have a seat. Good evening. If anybody watching on YouTube, good evening too. Tane lamla. How much page read?
We've advanced 14 pages.
Tane I need to find another text.
We are about in the middle of day 7.
That's my middle of day 7. Honda. Yeah, so then, any questions?
Yes, Geshe. There's one, it's from page 118, which is, I think, near the end of day 6. And it says, Pavanka Rinpoche says, we should establish not finding a personal self, and then contemplating on that will bring you to tranquil abiding. But I thought one had to have calm abiding first before we could realize the non-existence of the self.
So what you thought?
I thought that you had to have calm abiding. You had to have calm abiding before you could realize the non-existence of the self. But the instructions here reverse those. It says, if you can establish not finding a personal self, then you contemplate on that for a long time, and that will bring you to tranquil abiding.
What the where?
Geshe, it's very near the end of day 6. It's part of a very long quote from Milarepa. There's a quotation from Milarepa that goes on for about 4 of our pages, so it's quite long.
Quotation from Milarepa?
Yes. Let's see, it says, from Milarepa's offering of realization. I don't know.
So in the so qualified lama, one qualified lama, number 3, choga sanji manu walan datu.
Geshe, where we finished reading last time, that was a quotation from Togzang Lotsawa. And then just very soon after that, there's this very long quotation from Milarepa's offering of realization.
So there's not very end of, it's very end of the page number 6.
Day number 6.
Yeah, very end of that.
Right. So this quotation is so long that it starts several pages before the end of day 6, because it's several pages long, this quotation.
Oh.
But the part of this quotation that this question is about, I believe, is about halfway through this quotation. Within the quotation, Geshe, it says in this section where I think the question is, it says, having abandoned the path of the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, you enter into the path of the Mahayana. And then once you establish a foundation through the completely pure view of emptiness, that's the quotation.
Thank you very much for your patience. So finally, it looks like I found. Yarangi lamba ne tepa chimbe lamdo jubula tawan namta ki shisu ne lamidin jubute lamasin limit. So then where's the middle of quotations? I found that what you just read, Chukila, I found that. So then
Yeah, so that's where the question is, but what I just read to you is part of this very long quotation that began several pages earlier. So that part doesn't matter, Geshe. You found the right part where the question is.
okay. Tawan namda topor chabala. In order to realize tawan namda is the pure view, probably refers to wisdom realizing shunyata. Lamasin the temperature is only number of chocolate manova that Tapshi the temperature only some always Tasha and Russian. So then I don't see the Thomas's question. I don't see that.
Geshe, it's a little, I can read you in English. It's a little farther down in that paragraph. It says, moreover, striving to discover the selflessness of a personal self common to the vehicle of characteristics. Through many examples and reasons using both scripture and reasoning, you will not find a self and will realize the selflessness of personal self. Thus, you should equally establish the non-finding of a personal self and the mind. When you establish this through continuous reflection with numerous reasons, the mind still is in a state of non-conceptuality. You should remain in this state for years, months, days, and so on, without thinking of anything else. And when it occurs in proper measure, you have developed tranquil abiding.
Yeah, somewhere there. So, not sure. So the question is like you wonder like in order to realize shunyata. So what do you think? What's your question?
I thought that one couldn't realize shunyata without having calm abiding. I thought, so this seems to be in the opposite order of what my understanding was. That you have to have calm abiding in order to realize emptiness or emptiness of self.
So that's like the question is like seeing emptiness, shunyata, directly or indirectly. Seeing shunyata indirectly probably requires shamatha. Without shamatha, that's probably impossible. But in that case, you are correct. In order to see shunyata directly, you probably need to have calm abiding or shamatha. So if you can bear with me like 2 more minutes so that I can find. So they call it so singing was it's needed a lot to so jola lado so jola lado tsini ba michare toni ngusum to michare tesa sa tambo to ba da lado no ni ba la tin number lando chebe shini chi nyam nang sakuso tona nazo juwa nam gomba da shini sambu nyam tenda cheba kela jebe kido shini gomba so tsenje tseme that Thomas called the lungdang rikpa nika la peta junsin tume kuni chalwesa da manye pa. Okay, I found now. Tia tsini tepa da tumu wa, tsini tepa da tumu wa kansa ki dame chowa la bedes. Bedes. Ta lungdang rikpa nika la peta junsin tume kuni chalwe da manye pa la kansa ki dame toks. Teta kansa manye pa ta sim nyamba joke de kansa manye junsin tuma chiki kuni shapi tse namdo junchine sim tome do heng song te loda daola soba chisam soya rang ki misheba shenji che zungyoba che zungyoba juwani shinicheba tela tenshi jikyane chimusu masoma ribe tenchebe nala rajimeba salla toba meza sa sinye wate shinichi nyameza sa tongto zumi roze suchi ulhado tsiniba michares toni musunda micharete. Maybe there's some mistake in the English translation. So now please one last time, read one more time. So now I found the Tibetan text. So I don't want to guess, so probably better to look at the actual text. So I kind of already figured it out. So the question about, so maybe there's some mistake in English. Yeah, now can you read it again?
Sure. It says, moreover, striving to discover the selflessness of a personal self common to the vehicle of characteristics through many examples and reasons using both scripture and reasoning, you will not find a self and will realize the selflessness of personal self.
Okay, so not finding the self is the same as that, probably they repeat two words but means same thing. Not finding self means finding selflessness, pretty much same thing.
Right, okay. And then it says, sorry. Do you want me to go on?
Yes.
Okay.
So now that, please stop where your question is, okay?
Okay, well, that's sort of the, so then it goes on, you should equally establish the non-finding of a personal self in the mind. When you establish this through continuous reflection with numerous reasons, the mind stills in a state of non-conceptuality. You should remain in this state for years, months, days, and so on without thinking of anything else. And when it occurs in proper measure, you have developed tranquil abiding. So this seems to say that realizing self is the means to developing tranquil abiding. I mean, realizing selflessness, pardon me, is the means to develop tranquil abiding. But I thought developing tranquil abiding was the means to realizing selflessness.
No, so that's like yes. So saying that when you can tell that you are actualized shamatha, then still you need to be mindful. So need to continue your meditations. In this case, meditating on selflessness. Continue that, make sure your mind doesn't sink, or make sure that your mind doesn't get too high. Then based on that kind of measurement, so then you need to increase your analysis on selflessness. Or maybe there's like When I read in Tibetan text, it doesn't sound like that you have to achieve karma biting after seeing emptiness. So maybe there's something like
Geshe, I think the word that's tripping me up is it says realize, will realize the selflessness of personal self. And maybe it doesn't mean a direct realization. Maybe it means an indirect realization, in which case that would make sense to me.
okay, good. Sorry, so not able to clear, but actually, generally speaking, in order to have like a direct experience of shunyata does require shamatha. Without shamatha, you are not going to have direct experience of shunyata. Period. There's nothing to debate. So, does not mean meditating on emptiness does not mean require shamatha. You can meditate on emptiness way before you are to achieve shamatha. So, studying emptiness does not require shamatha. Meditating on shunyata or selflessness doesn't require shamatha. But in order to gain direct experience of shunyata, so then you need shamatha. Without shamatha, you are not going to have direct experience of shunyata. Studying, meditating doesn't require shamatha. If you have shamatha, your meditation of shunyata will be much more successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Geshe, is the advice being given here that one should use shunyata as the object of our meditation when trying to develop karma biting?
No, it's not like you can use shunyata as an object.
Mm-hmm.
You can use flower as an object. You can use like image as an object. You can use Buddha's image, Tara's image. You can use any object, but as a Buddhist, our goal is not to achieve like some temporary heaven. That's not the Buddhist goal. Buddhist goal, we are aiming for liberations. We are aiming for enlightenment or liberation, not like a temporary break from desire realm. So that's not what we are looking for. We are looking for complete break from samsara. Desire realm, formless realm. Even though form realm, there's like relatively much less suffering than desire realms. We are not, the Buddhist goal is not like temporary break from desire realms. We are aiming for complete liberation from samsara. So therefore, the very reason that you meditate on shamatha is to have experience of emptiness. Because in order to experience emptiness, you have to have strong concentration. Without strong concentrations, it's quite difficult to experience shunyata. So for Buddhists, very purpose of developing shunyata or shamatha is to seek liberations or nirvana, freedom from samsara. So there's a purpose. So therefore, doesn't mean there's no it's not definite. If someone achieve shamatha, does that mean that you are guaranteed now to liberation from samsara? No. So there's like shamatha is common practice. Buddhism and non-Buddhist, it's common practice. Shamatha does not guarantee liberations unless you use shamatha to meditate on shunyata, so then it will lead to liberations. Otherwise, it may lead to higher realm, like form realms. Within the form realm, there's 4 different layers. You could be born in one of those realms, looking down on everything that we experience, the desire realm. Life experience is too short. A lot of sicknesses, a lot of all kind of things, a lot of competitions, all kind of things, looking down on the desire realms. So then, manage to achieve shamatha, then looking looking the form realm, formless realm, form realm, and thinking about the quality of the form realms. So then probably they'll probably create the cause or maybe then after shamatha, you could probably reach what you call some kind of the common path. It's not really path, it's common path. So that will kind of temporarily cease all the gross delusion of desire, not with the seed, only temporarily kind of cease them. So then God will be born in form realm. Okay, so in Buddhism, the very purpose of achieving shamatha is to seek liberations. In order to do that, you have to have some experience of shunyata. Without shunyata, there will be no liberation. Why? Oh, the root of the samsara is ignorance, fundamental confusions. When you look at this wheel of life, the very first one is ignorance. The painting, there's somebody has arrow in the eye, that means you cannot see. So that is the root of samsara. Because everything began from this notion of self. Without notion of self, there will be no samsara. Because of notion of self, then that from there, your, everything, so right from the beginnings, become attached to yourself. So then from there, then my culture, my tradition, my religion, my country. So then goes on and on, my relatives, things like that. So this is all driven by the ignorance, the first link from the 12 link. So that ignorance is very self that you are attached. We don't have very clear idea. So we don't know how to define self. So that all the story of this life is built on that notion of self. But if you ask yourself how you define self, probably there's not much knowledge or not much wisdom there. So therefore, first need to tackle the root, self-grasping, the mind that grabs so tightly on self. So the very self that mind is grasping so tightly, that self needs to be identified. That self needs to be identified. So then there's whole instructions how to meditate on shunyata, begin with the self. Meditation on shunyata should not begin with a table or cloth, because the table doesn't cause. The table is not root of your is not the main cause of your samsara. The main cause of your samsara is the mind, self-grasping mind. So therefore, there is a whole instructions how to find, right? How to identify the self. Then there's a lot of meditations, explained by Nagarjuna. Of course, Shakyamuni Buddha. So then Nagarjuna, Arya Asanga, Nagarjuna, particularly Nagarjuna, to Chandakirti, so then to Lama Atisha, then to Lama Tsongkhapa, so like that. So then, Shantideva, of course, Shantideva, so that have detailed instructions how to meditate on, how to identify the conventional self, which do exist. The self that we are so attached is exaggerated, very much exaggerated. Based on status, knowledge, title, wealth, hierarchy, all kinds of things, that self that we have become so attached to is very much exaggerated and almost feel like that whenever you think about it, almost like feel like the self is like independent, existent, inherent existence, absolute, something absolute. It's not a mere self that we experience. It's not a self that's like merely imputed on aggregate. That's not how we experience. We experience something solid. So that's how this wheel of life goes round and round. Okay. Sorry, so much been said because I need to say it. It needs to be said because Shunyata is a complicated topic. It's like compassion and bodhicitta are so easy to understand, but very hard to develop. Shunyata is very hard to understand, but relatively easy to realize compared to bodhicitta and universal compassions. So if you meditate again, so you will first, of course, need to hear what is Shunyata. Then whatever you heard, then you need to think. So then you need to, when you think again, suppose hear or read again, hear again. So that's called wisdom generated by hearing about Shunyata. Wisdom generated by thinking about Shunyata. Wisdom generated by meditating on Shunyata. So that wisdom then will liberate. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh yeah. Sorry, so much been said. I think that probably not enough. Enough has been said. Sometimes it's interesting, just sit down, breathe, relax, and think. Am I my hair? Think what will be your answer. Think. Am I my head? Think. Am I my eye, ear, nose, mouth, teeth, whole face, neck? Analyze. What will you find? Maybe you end up finding nothing. So they need to pause on that. So there's nothing more to look for. Just pause there. Probably not finding, maybe you are finding something profound. You think you are not finding anything, maybe you found something very profound, never been found all your life. Nothing to analyze. Even the atom size of atom, you couldn't find. When you analyze, you cannot even find the size of atoms. There's nothing to find. Maybe that's how self exists, not other way around. Before the self that exists is something very concrete, absolute, inherent, exaggerated. Maybe that's not how it exists. Maybe that's how it exists, that when you analyze, nothing to find. So when you, then so will you be scared? Of course. Now you are finding nothing. Before you are finding, now you are not finding. Of course you will be scared. So therefore, emptiness needs to study, first study, again read, And then without merit, without merit, so it's like Penjan Lobsang, the Penjan Lama. Fourth Penjan Lama, I believe, fourth Penjan Lama wrote the text about Mahamudra. So it said, the Penjan Lobsang, fourth Penjan Lama composed the text about the Mahamudra. Simchi Chuni Tonga, Sosa Dipjan Latubes, Simchi Chuni, Shunyata of mind. In order to experience Shunyata of mind, heavily dependent on purifications and creating merit. Simchi Chuni Tonga, Sosa Dipjan Latubes, Ijabumsams. So that's why this preliminary practice. 100,000 Vajrasattva mantra recitations, 100,000 prostrations. Sorry, there's no easy way out. There's no easy way. So Ija Bumsam, Tongshan, Jachakama, Ija Bumsam, 100,000 Vajrasattva mantra, 100,000 prostrations combined with the 35 Buddha practice. Now you see, So need to create merit. Okay, need to create merit. Otherwise, people really freak out when they analyze. They don't find anything. They think they don't exist. You are falling into nihilism. You are not in the middle way. You are falling into nihilism. What you should do in order to prevent that, so need to create merit. Need to create merit. It's almost like the candle itself. Needs to be good, otherwise it will not burn well. The wax, wick?
Yeah.
Wick will not burn well if the candle itself is not good. It's like has some kind of water mixed. When you make the candle, some kind of water, it will not burn well. In order to the wick to burn well, so that candle, in the modern here, you have candles. In there, we use oil or butter. So we make our own wick, then put in there, so then you light. The butter is not good, the oil is not good, it won't burn. It won't burn. So that oil represents purification, creating merit. So that's the oil represent. If there's no merit, no purifications, even though wick is like the light of the wick is like probably some kind of understanding of what is Shunyata, read or heard, or maybe thought, but when you meditate, so then probably it's difficult. Okay. Just for the sake of knowledge, so we can make it easy. So maybe I'm sure that you wish it could be something simple. Unfortunately, there's no simple because samsara is vast and complicated. Therefore, liberation from samsara is not easy. It's not easy, So, but we are. If I can learn, you can learn. There's no difference. I have only 2 eyes, 2 ears. If I can learn, you can learn. But any knowledge you have, I have, is the result of effort. Without effort, there will be no knowledge. Knowledge is not simple wish. So that need to put some effort and self-discipline, some effort. You can learn. If anything that I can learn, you can learn too. There's no difference. There's no difference between me and you. Same thing. But you have will to learn, Wow, no, that's exactly. Next time when you see Shakyamuni Buddha, so the first thing that how to develop devotion towards the Buddha, Buddha taught shunyata. Buddha is the only person who taught shunyata. Even though there's many founders of different religions, but the Buddha is the only one who taught about shunyata. So there's nothing, that's not being biased, that's the truth, that's the fact. So then when you have the, that's how you devote yourself, the Buddha taught way out of samsara, meditating on shunyata. You can read Hinduism or other religion, nobody talks about shunyata. Buddhism is the only one talks about shunyata. So then require merit. So if you're reciting Mani mantra, Tara mantra, if you're going around the holy object, all good is all part of the, it's not separate from liberation. It is part of the liberations. It is a part of gaining experience of shunyata. It's not separate. This is called preliminary practice. It's nothing to do with the shunyata. Wrong. It's a part of the process. Whatever practice you do at home is a part of your enlightenment. It's not separate from enlightenment. If you think it's separate from enlightenment, then your understanding is not good. It's part of. 1,000-mile journey, 1,000-step, 1,000-mile journey. The minute you start to walk, there's a part of the journey. It's not separate from the 1,000-mile journey. It is part of the 1,000-mile journey. Even though you only walk 1 mile, it is a part of the 1,000-mile journey. So you are already into the 1,000-mile journey. Even though you only finish 1 mile, it's a part of that. So something to be happy about, something to be happy about. So if you don't start now, then when? Maybe this is the only chance. This is the only chance. Not because somebody decided. No, nobody decided. Just to be truthful. To yourself, is this the only chance? Pretty much sounds like it is the only chance. Does that mean this is the only chance? No. But no, so it probably this is the, so all in all your power, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
In all your power, you need to help yourself. You need to liberate. That's your missions, for your lifelong missions. If you really, really care about yourself, the best thing that you can do for yourself is give complete liberation, complete holiday from samsara. So this is the only chance to start, at least start the process. 1,000-mile journey, I can't tell this truth, the 1,000 mile and not moving and not doing anything, just sitting there. That 1,000-mile journey is not going to be shorter by itself. If you walk just 1 mile, the process only start exactly like that. Just start. This is the perfect opportunities to start. At least you start the journey. So you don't worry about how long it will take. Just start the journey. This is the best chance. This is the best chance. Or maybe there's a better chance in the celestial realm. No, wrong. They have less problem. Yeah, they do have less problem. Does that mean better chance? No, they don't have better chance. Or maybe form realm, wrong. No. This is the best chance. So at least start the journey. Don't worry about when, how. At least in this life, start the journey. That journey will continue. If you don't start the journey now, then there's huge loss. There's something you can give it to yourself that you refuse, you deny or you refuse. So that's not good, that's not good. So you yourself deserve liberations, full enlightenment. So then you have moral responsibility to help yourself in this life, at least start the process. Start the process. Okay, so that's then you feel good because you are doing something for every day, doing something for your liberations, for enlightenment. Every day you're doing something for yourself, so that you feel good. Then you feel that your life has meaning, and your life is worth to live because you have every day you have something to accomplish. Oh, so then you feel good. Because of accomplishment, every day you accomplish something. So there's the meaning of living meaningful life. There's the meaning of living meaningful life, helping yourself, thinking every day to give yourself liberations, complete freedom from all this problem that we have now, aging, sicknesses, death, or not finding the things that we want to find, or losing the things that we don't want to lose, or feeling of loneliness, or death, aging, sicknesses, rebirth. Losing loved one, not finding the things that you are looking for, so worry about encountering things that we doesn't want to encounter, feeling of loneliness, all kind of problems. So when you look at animals, could not learn even a single word, took long time. Once they learn the word, probably they don't understand the meaning. Look at whichever there's 6 realms. Look around. Oh, each realm has problems. So this is the only probably chance or the best opportunity to help yourself. If you really love yourself, help yourself, provide yourself opportunity to free yourself, completely free yourself from the samsara. At least that's what I think. Not much worry about whether I can liberate myself in this life or not next life. Not much worry about it. So I'm just content because I start the journey. I start the process. I'm very much content every day that I start the journey. So I'm every day contributing something towards that goal. So it makes me feel good. Makes me feel that my life has some purpose, some meaning, some purpose to move on, to continue to live. And every day, fully aware that this opportunity could disappear tomorrow, no clue, could happen. But we have this idea, I'll be here all life. That idea is very much deceiving. There's no guarantee, but we have this idea. So it could finish tomorrow. So at least I did something today for my journey. So it kind of shapes your life, kind of simplifies your life mentally, physically, kind of makes you less worried, less attached. Enjoy as much as possible, then don't become too attached because tomorrow could be finished. Tomorrow may not wake up. Why this all worry or attachments for what? For nothing. If you say some mantra, do some meditations, good things to do. It continues, okay? Sorry, so showing the unruly face. because this is a serious thing, okay? This is a serious thing because each and every one of us has opportunity. We have all the opportunity you need it now. You can see, you can hear, you can think. Don't wait, don't wait. This is the perfect time. It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time. Oh, don't wait. Without second or delay, don't wait. Don't stall, don't stall. We can't afford to stall. This is the best chance. Every single day you remind yourself, contribute something, make sure there's one drop goes to that well. Every single day, one drop goes there. Every single day, that well is not going to dry up. Make sure every single day, one drop goes there, at least one drop. Don't say, oh, I have no time. Not true, not true. You do have time. We have time for many things. How come you don't have time for something that will contribute to your liberations? Then when you're going to find time? When you're going to find time? No. So this is the best chance, best opportunity. So then day-to-day life will be happier. And feel something meaningful, something worth to live, something meaningful. Oh, so very, very important. So otherwise, it's hard to feel meaningful. Life is hard to be not accomplishing something. So it's very important. It's very important. So then yeah. So every day something, at least something. Otherwise, it's huge lost. So there goes. The very day that goes, it will never come back. It's gone. It will never come back. It's gone. It's gone. So need to be practical. Can't just live with the fantasy idea, idea of the fantasy. We're going to be here a long, long time. No. So need to be realistic. Okay. So oh yeah. Then maybe yeah. Sorry because that. Any other questions? So. Dramasi questions produce all of this. Blame Dramasi.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any more questions, Geshe.
So there's a Lama Kungdan Lama from the Tibetan master called Kungdan Lama. What he said, 20 years been passed. When he's looking back his life, 20 years been passed, not doing anything. Means in this case, meditation or spiritual practice. 20 years been passed. So now thinking, oh, maybe I'll do something, 20 years been passed. That's 40 years. Thinking, oh, maybe I'll do something. Took 20 years to do anything. First doing nothing, 20 years passed. So then thinking, oh, I'm going to do 20 years passed. That's 40 years. So then, that's how it's like kind of like how is reminding all of us, that when now, right now. It's not tomorrow, it's not next week, it's not next month, right now. Can't afford to wait right now. If this moment goes well, maybe this hour will probably go well. Maybe day will go well. Maybe then you can hope week will go well, and month will go well, then year will go well. When you look back, I learned quite a bit, So last year, 2020, 2021, knowledge, so much knowledge. Knowledge was increased, knowledge is increased, meditation kind of expand. Then good, then that's good. So then nobody needs to ask you to. So then probably you deliberately, voluntarily do more and more because you see the benefit. Nobody needs to ask you to do. You do deliberately. So then that means you are receiving the blessings. Okay, so important. So I'm just to remind you, that's all. Just remind. Okay. So living day by day. So living day by day. Then what else?
I don't see any more questions, Geshe. Let me check. And no more questions. We have about 6 more minutes.
About meditation on Shunyata, if you can read the text composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, Praise to Interdependence. So that text was composed by Lama Tsongkhapa after when he gained the direct experience of Shunyata at the Waka Chuling, that's Central Tibet. Of course, Lama Tsongkhapa understands when you read about Shunyata, he understands every single word, what it means, he understands. But not having any experience of Shunyata, so then went to the Waka Chuling with one of Lama Tsongkhapa, a disciple precisely guided by Manjushri. So took a disciple, went to the Waka Chuling. So there, the Lama Tsongkhapa did so much, practice. Same text, the text was called Buddha Palita. Same text reread, then gain experience of Shunyata. So then not long after that, Lama Tsongkhapa composed this text. After having direct experience of Shunyata, Lama Tsongkhapa wrote this text, Praise to Interdependence. So that text Lama Tsongkhapa composed. So that text was very holy and very sacred. Even just reading one time, so probably have no idea how much karma will be purified. In Tibet, there's one like Ganden Chiba. Ganden means Tushita Ram. This is like in the Geluk tradition, Geluk lineage. Ganden refers to Tushita Rams, which is located.
Yeah, located.
Which is located in the desire realms. Within the desire realm, there are like 7 celestial realms within the desire realms. Celestial realm number 4, that's where the Tushita realm is located. All this 1001 Buddha will descend from there to the realms. So Lama Tsongkhapa composed that text. So then it will create so much merit, even. So then one of the, sorry, so I don't remember why I'm saying the stories. Ganden, that's where it's located. Ganden Chiba, there's the highest ranking monk in the Geluk lineage called Ganden Chiba. That person, someone who holds authority of the throne, which is based in Ganden realm, Tushita realms. So one of the Ganden Chiba, so in Tibet, in Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. So he's going to the market every morning, nothing to buy, and he goes to the market and he says, anybody sell Shunyata? You can sell Shunyata, but he just want to, people at the marketplace, he want them to hear the word Shunyata. That's his mission. He goes there, anybody sell Shunyata? And people, of course, all the merchants all the merchant, high merchant. All the merchant want to sell something. They say, what is shunyata? His mission is accomplished. So then he go back home. Next day he comes again. Anybody sells shunyata? He just want, before they die, he just want them to hear the word shunyata. So now can you imagine reading Lama Tsongkhapa about this text, Prayers to Interdependence, right not long after he gained direct experience of shunyata. Then Lama Tsongkhapa wrote that text, Prayers to Interdependence. So then in that text it says, even just before you die, even just having a little understanding what is shunyata, wow, that's like, you have to be happy, not just happy, very, very happy that you have some understanding of what is shunyata. That's what Lama Tsongkhapa said in this text, Even just having understanding, not experience, understanding what is shunyata, or maybe just wondering or curious about shunyata. Wow, you should be very, very happy. Why? That knowledge will cut the root of all the problems that we face since from beginning this time to now. It will like destroy the root. So that's why, and I don't remember the word exact now here. So anyway, Lama Tsongkhapa said that you should be very, very happy, even just having a small understanding of what is shunyata. How you can do that? You can study. You can study. Like all them are.
I'm sorry, I found the verse. It's on number 36. And I can share it on the screen, I think.
That's good.
Nonetheless, before the stream of this life, flowing towards death has come to cease, that I have found slight faith in you, even this I think is fortunate. Is that someone?
So I have to recite all the start text from the start. I can't just pick it up from the middle because probably not doing enough. If I did enough, probably like that, probably I would be now very experienced one, but so I'm still struggling. Yeah, so when I reach that part, I feel so great. I feel so great. When I recite that part, I feel so great, so fortunate that I make myself commitment. I will continuously study shunyata. Every single day, I will say this that text by heart, and continuously motivate to study shunyata. There's something I can do. Then I should do, and I should do with happy mind, and feel very fortunate. So I should do. So then maybe hoping someday I will gain experience of shunyata. So so that Lama Tsongkhapa, that's like just saying the word is like quite amazing. Oh yeah. Okay. So now we stop here. So my almost time is over. So the Venerable Alhamdulillah with rededication, and thank you very much for coming in. So anybody watching on YouTube, so have a wonderful night. All of you have a wonderful night. Oh, yeah.
Due to the virtues of these virtuous actions, may we quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samanthabhadra too realize things as they are, we too dedicate all these merits in the best way that we may follow their perfect example. We dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praise of the best by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times, so we might perform good works. We dedicate whatever virtues we have ever collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of perfect pure Losandrapa to shine forever. Now the short, long life prayers, first for His Holiness, whose birthday is coming up. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrei Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And one for Sarah J. Kinzer Rinpoche Losan, Jetsun Losan Gelek, the one who mastered speech at a very young age, the one with great patience, who received the name Awatare, the one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on Listen Void, Lama ornament of the yellow hat tradition. Please remain until samsara ends. And the one for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, and masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, savior of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. And of course, for the long, happy, healthy lives of Geshe Gelek and Geshe Sam. Om Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re So Ha.
Well, thank you very much. Lamula, so bring that screen again, that word.
Oh,
Yeah, one more time. So that's the bring. So that.
it's verse number 36.
Number 35.
I think it's 34, Lamola.
Oh, it's 34? I'm sorry. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'm going to have to move this.
Go.
I'm having problems moving.
Number 35. Number 35.
35? See, alas, my mind was defeated by ignorance, though I've sought refuge for a long time. In such an embodiment of excellence, I possess not a fraction of his qualities.
Oh, that refers to the Shunyata. So and that's 35 and 36.
Nonetheless, before the stream of life flowing towards us has come to cease, that I have found slight faith in you, even this I think is fortunate.
Let alone your numerous teachings, even the meaning of a small part of those find entertainment in this bring certain bliss to them also. Yeah, so numbers 35 and 36 is quite a powerful statement composed by Lama Tsongkhapa. Not long after Lama Tsongkhapa experienced Shunyata directly. So this is Lama Tsongkhapa's his own word. So this text was very much blessed and very holy, very sacred. If you can read once a day, or maybe I think it's good. It's good, so it'll benefit you. Okay, it will help you to so it's a very powerful text. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, good night. Okay. Oh yeah, good night. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe.
Oh yeah.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe.
Lama.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dharma, Lama,
Thanks, Donna.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you,
Tugla.
Lama.